Real Solomon, what's good, man?
How's it going, bud? I'm good.
I appreciate you being on the show this evening. It's actually been a long time coming, trying to get you on
Yeah,
this show. I think I first met you. It was at Al's Bar. I don't
yeah,
remember who were the other opening acts at the top of my head, but I remember you was there that night. And I remember a mutual friend of us, Derek Price, a Simple Vivi, shout out to him.
yeah.
He referred to us, when I posted a picture of us, he referred to us as his twin towers, because we was 6 feet tall. Um,
Yeah,
you one of the very few 6 foot tall musicians that I have interactions with. So
right.
you know, face to face
I think
per se.
I think I shock a lot of people. Especially just I don't know, being on stage. I think it just makes me a little bit or something. But and Derek's pretty tall himself, so he's like the third.
Yeah, he could be our manager. He could be the manager,
Right,
causing troubles, cause some luck
right.
and everything. Make sure we win these matches here and there. Uh, so before I get into the music questions, how's everything with you since this pandemic, health wise, family? How's everyone doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing good. I can't complain. It's been just an adjustment. I think that's really how I would explain it. Like it's it it's had its difficulties. I mean, I think trying to navigate and know exactly what it is that I should do in terms of when I get up and what gets me going. It just all the plans changed and a lot of my game plan for just long term goals shifted or at least were put on pause and so I've honestly just been able to spend some quality time with family and to pour into just not only chill with my wife and uh, have some outdoor time. We bought a dog. It's my first dog ever. His name's West, and we we just we go to the park every day, which was it's something I've never done. Had a dog where I could take him on a walk every single day. So it's been a different season, but at the same time it's had its definite ups. So that's been great.
That's good. So about this dog of yours,
Yeah.
how would you best describe the dog? Is the dog one of those hyper dogs, or is usually just a lot calm?
No, he's really calm. So he's we're we got him from Humane Society, and I was actually looking for like a hound, and we came away with more of like a Australian Shepherd. I think we think he might be mixed with some kind of English Setter, but he's awesome. He's super outdoorsy. He loves people so much, and so I've gotten to meet a lot of people just from him making a point to go up and run up to people, and so that's been nice, especially during a time like this. When we're outside, and I'm as a musician, I kind of teeter between being introvert and extrovert, and this dog will run up and talk to somebody, be like, oh, it's nice to be able to talk to somebody, today, considering I haven't spoken to anybody because of the pandemic for I don't know what feels like a month. so yeah, he's great. I love it. Brand new
Awesome,
experience.
awesome, awesome. Shout out to all the dogs. You
Yes.
know, sometimes I think in a moment like this, I think a lot of us wish we were animals.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about what's going on. May not be fully aware. Wonder why all the humans wearing masks and everything. I think a lot
Right.
of us like be a little curious
Well,
about that.
last night my wife and I we watched a movie called Hachi for the first time, which is about
Mm-hmm.
this dog who, like, I had never seen it, but it's about this dog and its loyalty and basically just waiting for this owner at the train station for like 9 years, just day after day. And there's something like about one of the things I love about West, which I actually named this dog West, is I took a trip out west just to get away and to write, and that's been awesome just for new material and stuff like that. But I come home and Carly, my wife, says, "Let's get a dog," and so we go and we find West. But one of the things that's been great about having him is just I don't think I understood how much dogs just love routine, and so one of the things of getting up and going to the park in the same park and how much he enjoys that, it's really honestly given me a bit of an example of like, hey, like if I'm just faithful to get up and to pour into the things that I love every day, then, that makes life enjoyable, and it gives you some kind of stability. And I mean, it's been cool to see that and just to honestly learn from him. It sounds wild, but it's just, and that's one of the things this movie they said is that the dog found this owner, and I in some sense I feel like even though we went to the Lexington Humane Society, I feel like he found us, which is cool.
Just a perfect example that a dog is indeed a man's best friend.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you got music out already. Your latest song, it's called Ballerina. That is out on all digital music platforms. From my understanding, you have more music on the way.
Yes.
Let's focus on Ballerina first. Talk about recording that song. What was it like recording it, and what's it about?
Yeah. So I had recorded Ballerina. I'd started recording back in February of 2020, and I've had this song for several years now. And the song is about just breaking out of your box, and the story behind it was my wife and I, right when we got married, we went on our honeymoon, and we get back, and I get this call from my parents, and they said, "Hey, Will, like we've got a bunch of your stuff here at the house that you've had growing up, stuff that we've got crammed in the closets and up in the top corners of them, and in the garage and under the stairs and stuff like that. And so, hey, can you come get your stuff?" And I started thinking about these items that I hadn't seen in years. For me, it was like the Ninja Turtles and the baseball cards and the deflated basketballs, and so it was just cool to revisit those items. Well, I started talking to my wife about items that she might see that she hadn't seen in years, because assuming she would get a similar call. And she said, "Well, I had this Ballerina box when I was a little girl, and I used to just love it. And it's something my mom got me, and it's been years since I've seen it. But I used to run to my room and listen to this tune, and I just love this Ballerina box." And songs happen in the strangest ways, but I was in the car like maybe weeks later, and for whatever reason I'm thinking about this Ballerina box that my wife had mentioned, and I started thinking, if she wanted to see that, and she knew exactly where to go to find this Ballerina, if she went to find it and she opens the box, would this Ballerina that she'd known to be there to dance to this song for all her life, would it still be there, or would it have moved on? And I started thinking, what about myself? Like, what are the areas where people think they have me pegged, or maybe I'm just somewhat cowardice, or just I stay in the same space and I put this safe space around me, and it's something that friends or loved ones have been able to say, yeah, like that's the tune he dances to, like that's his thing. But you look introspectively and think, I want out. Like I want to be able to move beyond those walls. And so that's how the song was formed. I had it for years, and then was fortunate to go down to Nashville. I was actually just going to track the drums. The way that all these songs the other two that I'm about to release, the way that it kind of fell into favor has been awesome. I went down to track just drums with my buddy Marcus Hill, who's an incredible drummer. He's done stuff with Drew Holcomb and plays with Stacey Winans, and he's just like he just saw the Belmont drummer, and so I go down, and Casey, who was the engineer on the day, and his studio, he fell in love with the songs, and he had won a Grammy with Kev Mose since I had seen him last, and he was like, "Hey, let's just record these songs here. Let's just do this project here." And I'm like, "What? What's happening?" And so we did, and so I was able to just complete all the recording of these songs, and it was awesome. So.
Ballerina is available on all digital music platforms. Name of the artist is Will Solomon. He's joining me on Chilling with Jeff Kinney C. So you mentioned you got more songs on the way. Talk about the songs you have coming up, and when can we expect them to be released?
Yeah. So I've got two more tunes coming out, and they're both, one of them is called Crazy Kid, and the other one I will leave some suspense. But Crazy Kid is the next to come out. But I'm honestly waiting. It's been, we were talking about I was talking about how blessed I feel just to be able to track these in the form that I did. So because of the pandemic, like I had a mixing engineer set up, and I kind of had an idea who I wanted to play on this record, but because of the spacing and the time, I was actually able to get some players in on the songs that I didn't envision or ever dreamed of playing on it, and so one of those being my cousin Lou Toomey, who's just a amazing player. He grew up in Lexington, and then took the trip down to Nashville. This was years ago. He's older than me, and played with Faith Hill and Brooks and Dunn for his career. This guy plays with this guy named Mo Pitney, and so he was able to track on this record, which has been awesome. And but as we got to finish with all the tracking, and then this is kind of a wild story. My producer said, "Hey, like, I really would love to show my neighbor these songs, and have him mix these songs." And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know who your neighbor is, but in my mind, I was kind of like, well, I kind of have an idea who I want to mix these songs, but he sends them to his neighbor, and his neighbor happens to be Jakir King, who's just this incredible mixing engineer, and who's worked with Kings of Leon and Tom Waits and Nora Jones, all these amazing. I've just been a fan of his for years, his production and his mixing. Mm-hmm. And so he actually has the other two in his hands right now, which is something that I've been waiting on. And so the actual release date of the full EP is in the foreseeable future, but it's still somewhat me kind of working with a team that I never envisioned and trying to figure out how to get it out there. But I wanted to get Ballerina out at the new year because it fits that theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's somewhat where I'm at with the rest of the record.
Awesome, man. I'm definitely looking forward to the new music. I'm definitely enjoying Ballerina. I look forward to hearing from that. Will, it was great chatting with you. Finally having this interview to happen. Thank you for your time. Continued success. Keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we get more control of this COVID thing, so that more artists will be more comfortable getting on that stage and perform, and maybe an album release show of yours down the road.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Thanks for your time, man. Yeah, you take care.
Kenny, thank you. I appreciate it, bud. See you.